So now we're going to get into a little bit of basic programming. And this is just using different statements and logical expressions to help kind of make things a little bit more efficient. So the first thing we're going to talk about are if statements. So the way I think about if statements is it's exactly like an if-then statement. So if this expression is true, then we're going to do some statement. So like if you look at here for the syntax, it's if, and then you give an expression. It'll either be true or false. If it's true, then do whatever like the statement says. And you can have as many, like you can have else if, and then that's an expression. And then if all of that's all false, then you can go through an else statement. And you can have as many else if statements as you want, but you have to have at least one if statement. And make sure with Matlab, you always have an end. So this is usually used within other loops because when you're checking through things or you're checking in programs, and you want to do it multiple times, it's a way to see if you're actually getting the result you want. And this is sort of like the basics of AI. So it's a lot of decision making. So it's like if this, then that, or it kind of just checks through. And as Bhavika mentioned, usually like your expression is going to be a comparison. So you're either going to check for if they're equal, greater than, less than, or not equal. And when you're working in a script, you're going to want to indent your statements and make sure they always have an end. It just helps things to be a little bit more clear and for you to see exactly like everything's aligned. So I know that this if statement, it corresponds with this end, and all these else if and else statements are correspond to the initial if statement. So just to see what that kind of looks like, you can say if 1 is greater than 3, then we can say print false, else say print true. And then if I keep, so after I type these, I keep hitting enter. So if I like keep hitting enter, MATLAB won't know to end until I tell it end. So then it'll close that statement and then it'll run it. Oh, sorry. If 1 is greater than 3, display else display true. Okay, so sorry. So what's happening here is that like there's no function print. So this is not a MATLAB syntax. If you want to display a value, you have to write DSP. So now it's saying true. So if 1 is greater than 3, so that's false. And so it's going to go to the next statement, which is an else statement, and then it's going to display true because that's what I told it to do. So that's kind of how like the logical regression works through that.